And thank you once again for tuning in to the 30-Day Mental Diet. Today is day 30. Woohoo! We made it to the last day. And because today is day 30, that means today at the setting of the sun, it is the Passover. We generally, every year, we do this 30-day mental diet and we go into a 10-day cleansing fast and then we go into the Passover. So what we do, we clean our minds for 30 days, then clean out our bodies for 10 days, and then we come to the Passover table to cleanse our spirit and receive communion. This is our practice every year. But I want to commend you for taking the time out of your schedule to follow me on the 30-day mental diet, whether you be a Christian or no, or not. These teachings are universal. We knew these things when we were sent here and we forgot. And that's why a lot of the things that you have read and you have heard during the last 30 days has resonated with your spirit. And no one had to tell you that this is a true statement, because when you heard the statement, you remembered from the beginning that this is truth. So today we are at the last chapter in the book. It's called You Live Your Thoughts. And it's a very, very true statement. And the subheading says, you always experience your convictions. I want you to think about that statement. You live your thoughts and you always experience your convictions. So be very, very careful of what you're convicted, what type of convictions you adapt into your life. Okay, let's read the introduction and let's move forward. If there's one thing that you cannot do, it is to be and experience other than what you maintain in the content of your thought. Regardless of what you may say you are convinced of, it is what you actually believe that will manifest itself. You may give lip service to certain ideas and professions of belief, but it is meaningless in comparison to the deep-seated emotional conviction you have relative to certain basic concepts, to the nature of the life you are living. You may think that you can ignore your negative ways of thinking, but you are only kidding yourself. They will declare themselves in your life until you remove or replace them with ideas that are to your benefit. Wonderful statement. And it goes right in. This chapter goes right in and tells you straight. If you have deep-seated negative emotions, if you have deep-seated negative thoughts residing within you, it is going to manifest in your world. You do not try to kid yourself and say that I believe this and that. Anything in your life, everything in your life is a reflection of your consciousness. So the life that we are leading, the life that we're living is a reflection of our consciousness and what we really, really believe. You know, sometimes psychologists call these deep-seated psychological imbalances hold us back. Things that happened to us in the past. I shared once with a congregation once that when I grew up on a small island of Jamaica. And I remember I was about 4 or 5 years old, and there was a political violence all over the place. And there was a election coming up, and there was a lot of political violence. And at the time, I stood on a corner near where I lived with my grandmother, and a truck pulled up. And the truck would give away milk powder, cornmeal, and bulgur wheat to poor people for votes. And I was young at the time, but for me, it did not sit good with me that somebody would give you food for votes. It didn't see well because to me, I looked at these people were living high and they were exploiting poor people. That's how I felt at that young age. Well, I tell you what happened. Many, many years later, I've come to America. We're living okay. Everything is good. I'm married. And my wife one morning, when we first got married, made some cornmeal porridge for me because I was going to work and she was a housewife. And I said to her, I don't eat cornmeal porridge. And my wife looked and said, why not? I said, that's poor people food. And my wife said, what are you talking about? I said, cornmeal is poor people food. And I realized right there that I still hold a negative thoughts about that incident that I saw when I was a small child. And I had to shake that off because the cornmeal had nothing to do with it. The milk powder and the bulgur wheat had nothing to do with it, the election. But because I saw that and it didn't sit well with me, I refused to eat that food. And this is how we are in our life. We experience some things sometimes when we're young, something that's deep and emotional, and it affects us. And one of the things that we don't realize is that we have the power within us. The power from the one mind is within us to declare anything we want as good. So anything that's going on in our life and that happened in the past, we can just cast it away and say, you know what? I'm going to now hold a deep-seated conviction of this new good. We can remake ourselves every single day. And our bodies are remaking itself. Our mind needs to be remade from time to time. And this is why we do a 30-day mental diet. The scripture says, be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. And this is what you have to do. Renew your mind every 30 days so that you can move from where you are to where your vision sees you to whatever pedestal you want to put yourself on. You can see that future. See it in your mind, renew your mind, and the Spirit of God must create because you're holding that thought. Okay, let's move on. 30 ideas. Next paragraph. During this month, you have encountered 30 ideas which can greatly influence the direction of your life. They are as old and as new as tomorrow's sunshine. There is none unusual or unique about them. But what can be new and unique is the manner in which you learn to recognize their value and use them in a practical manner of everyday living. Ideas are of no value unless they are applied and made to work. This is something that only you can do. No one else can do it for you. You think your own thoughts, but their creativeness of your experience rests in the nature of life and mind. Your only obligation is to think the right thoughts. The rest is automatically taken care of. We spoke yesterday about the coin. And if you did not see day 29, why are you here? Go back to the YouTube channel and go and press on videos and find day 29 and listen to day 29. Because we spoke about the coin of the universe. The coin of the universe is your thoughts. That coin is you can use that coin to purchase anything that you want in this universe. And God has given you that coin. We believe that we have to work for the physical coin. But the coin of the universe is your thought. And it says your only obligation is to think the right thoughts, and the rest is automatically taken care of. This is why we stress so much the power of visualization, the power of meditation, and the power of constantly affirming the good in your life to renew your life. Let's move on. Next paragraph. Use what you know. I'm in the middle of the paragraph. The actual words in and of themselves have no value in respect to improving your life. Rather, the ideas that lie behind them is what is important. These ideas must be translated into your own terminology, into your own way of thinking. They have to be digested, assimilated, and made an integral part of your mental and emotional makeup. Then and only then can they become vital factors in creating and sustaining the good things you desire. So think about this. Positive words that you're affirming to yourself. Positive thoughts that you're affirming to yourself. It's like food. You take food into your body, and your body digests the food and assimilate the food and take the nutrients from the food and send it to different parts of your body. Well, thoughts are the same way. You digest positive thoughts. You take in positive thoughts and it goes into your subconscious mind. And when it goes into the subconscious mind, the spirit then goes out into the universe and find the like thought, the same thoughts that are on the same resonant frequency as your thoughts. And it will bring back the things, the conditions, and the ideas that you have put in your mind constantly. So you have to be constantly have a diet of positive thoughts, and a constant diet of positive thoughts, no matter where you are right now, must produce in your life. Right now we're going through a lockdown all over the world. What are you doing on your lockdown? Are you taking in the news every day? Do you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do, you turn on the news and hear about all the bad news about this coronavirus? Or are you taking time to put positive ideas in your mind? Are you taking time to read your own goals that you have written down? Are you taking the time to read the affirmations that you have written for yourself so that you can remake your mind, so that your mind now can take this, go out into the universe and bring you back those things that you have written down? The key is in you, nobody else. Right now, economies of the world will change. And a lot of people are living in fear. They're afraid of the virus. They're afraid of whether or not they're going to be working again. They're afraid of for relatives. We're all affected. But we have to understand that first cause is mental. And because first cause is mental, what we are dwelling on in our mind, we are creating. We said on this chapter, you live your thoughts. Be careful of the thoughts that you dwell on with conviction. Let's move on. Life is so daily. Each and every day, you are the living embodiment of your convictions. If you don't like what appears to be, it is time to provide yourself with a new set of convictions. Exactly. This you can do. You have the foundation in the ideas you have encountered, and there remains but to make them a practical part of your experience and not just idle theory. Every day, you can in some way improve your conviction and see a tangible result. Now, we went through this over the past 29 days. And if this is the first time on the 30-day mental diet, please go back and follow along. And we left its text on the screen so you can read it, you can stop, and you can regurgitate these ideas. Let's move on, and I want to think about that. Our thoughts, in the same chapter, it says there is no idle thoughts. This is not a matter of, there's no idle thoughts. Any thought that comes to your mind, just know that if the thought is not positive, dismiss it immediately. Dismiss the thoughts and say, I do not receive that thought. And create immediately a vision opposite of that thought. A positive vision opposite. And that's the only way you can negate negative ideas, is to replace those negative ideas with a positive idea. That's it. Because when you have a negative thought comes to your mind, instantly shake it out. Say, I don't want this. Close your eyes for a second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and see the positive results you want. You must replace negative thoughts with positive thoughts. Thoughts, first cause, is always mental. Let's move forward. Your crystal ball. As you move on from this into more and more 30-day periods of your life, it must be remembered that consistency is of the uttermost importance. At the start of this 30-day period, you are instructed to devote both morning and evening to the subject at hand. Very, very true. There must be the doing on your part before there can be any results. That's it. Folks, I can read a ton of books about weightlifting, about getting in shape. But if I don't get my butt up and go out there and lift those weights and go jogging or power walking or yoga or whatever I need to do, I will not see manifestation. It is up to you to use these ideas in this book, but it's up to you to do it. Turn off your television. The television is there to program your mind. It is not there to entertain you. It is there to program you. Turn off the television and turn on your mind. Visualize the good that you want for your life. This is what we said. We said in the morning and in the evenings. That's it. It only takes you maybe 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening. Do the work and see the manifestation. Okay? I can talk till I'm blue in the face every day for the 365 days. I can come here and give you so many different points on manifestation and on the power that the one mind has put within you. But unless you do the work, and I'm going to stress this today because this is our last day, you must do the work. The scripture says, test me now and see if I will not open to you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing that there shall not be room enough to receive it. But you have to do the work. You have to do the work. And the work is simply changing your thoughts. Changing your thoughts, arresting all negative thoughts and casting it aside and replacing it with new thoughts and new visions for yourself. And if you find that those negative thoughts keep bothering you, keep coming up over and over, this is why we write them as affirmations. So when we affirm the positive thoughts, what we're doing is we're driving those thoughts straight into our subconscious mind to push out those negative thoughts that keep pestering us. This is why I talk to you about writing down affirmations on a regular basis, in the present tense as I am. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am wise. I am this. I am that. When you say I am, you are using the name of God and you're using the power of God in the present moment. You're not talking about the future. You're not talking about the past. Even though your circumstances may not say that I am prosperous. By you keep affirming that I am prosperous, the universe now has to take your words and go out and find a prosperity and bring it back into your world. If you are experiencing ill health, you have to constantly affirm that I am healthy and I am strong and I am energetic. And the universe has to conform to your words. You are made in the image of likeness of God, and God spoke and it was so. Let's move on. Not a serious undertaking. You start simply and easily by just beginning to think in terms of what you desire rather than dwelling on what you do not want. Enjoy what you are doing. Enter into the endeavor with enthusiasm and encouragement. Firm in the knowledge and conviction that you are not responsible for the production of the results. They are effective through the action of the Spirit within you. That's the great thing. I'm going to read that again. And I want you to look on the screen and I want you to get what I just said. Okay? Because this is so true. Firm in the knowledge and conviction that you are not responsible for the production of the results. They are affected through the action of the Spirit within you. This is what I'm saying to you, folks. The power of God is within you. He has given you the power to think and to speak. John 1:1 says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And in it was everything made that was made. And without the Word was nothing made. So that God has given you the same power to think and to utter, to speak. When God speaks, the Spirit brings back to God what He spoke and creates what the God has spoken. Because the Spirit of God dwells within you, when you speak, God is speaking. And when God speaks, the Spirit is responsible to bring back those things that was spoken. So it's not your job to worry about how these things are going to manifest. It's not your job. It is the Spirit's job. So don't worry about it. The how is not your job. Your job is to think the right thoughts. Your job is to arrest all negative thoughts and discard them. Your job is to maintain the vision of that thing you want. The rest is on the Spirit. The Nazarene said it once again also. He said, it is not the I that's do the work. It is the Father within me. He does the work. And he said, the works I do, you also will do. And greater works than these. But you have to believe. I can't make you to believe. You have to put this in practice and get small victories in your life. And as you receive small victories, you will become bolder and ask God for even bigger things. If you look in the scriptures, you will look that the first miracle of Christ is a simple miracle of turning water into wine. And as it goes on, you'll see that the miracles that were done by Christ became greater and greater to the point where he was raising people from the dead. Small victories is what I'm trying to show you, that you have the power within you. You just need to get small victories in your life. And once you have small victories in your life, you will move from faith to knowing that what you are doing is definitely going to produce the results which you desire. Okay, let's move on. I'm at the The end of that same paragraph, not a serious undertaking. Man's greatest, okay, I'm sorry. Let me start before that. The more you use it in this manner, the more you will be able to use it effectively. Man's greatest frontier lies in the discovery of the nature and power of his thought. And your most wonderful experiences of living lie ahead of you as you come to know and use the mind God has given you. Wonderful. Wonderful. And wow, okay, the scripture does say here, the scripture on today's lesson says, prove me now. And the word prove means test. If you look in a modern translation, it says test. So what God is saying is, test me now, herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open to you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing that there shall not be room enough to receive it. He's saying test him on his word. Everything here that we have done over the last 30 days can be referred back to the scriptures. There's nothing here outside of it. You have to stop negating your position. You are sons and daughters of the Most High God. And God resides within you, and He's looking to do great things through you. This 30-day mental diet is for you and you alone, so that God can do in your life what He sent you here to do. Let us read the diet together. My life starts anew each day, each minute, and regardless of what the past may have been, or the present may be, I know that every instant is a new beginning. My future is determined by what I know, am convinced of, and have faith in. And there is that within me which guides and directs me in the acceptance of only the ideas which are for my greatest good. These ideas I recognize and retain, discarding all others, and it is out of these ideas that my tomorrows are born. My faith is proved constantly by what I am and what I experience. My conviction that the universe is a thing of law and order, and that in, through, and behind all things is the one supreme reality, God, mind, intelligence, now enables me to change and redirect the course of my life so that I experience a greater degree of all good things. The keys to the kingdom of good are my thoughts. I know how to use them properly for the benefits of myself and others, and I let nothing hinder me or interfere with the constructive activity of my mind. This day and every day, I use the creative power of my thought to establish a whole new world of worthwhile living. I continually prove to myself and to the world about me the strength and power of thoughts that reflect the nature of God. Wonderful, wonderful 30 days. And I want to thank you for staying with me. I want to thank you for being disciplined to follow every day on the 30-day mental diet. But from here is on you to start a new 30 days. Every 30 days, you can start anew. I don't want you to go back to the couch. I don't want you to sit back and say, oh, well, that was so wonderful, that 30-day mental diet, woohoo, and not do something. This is your time to get up and do. And the first thing you can do is start writing down what you desire for your life. Write it down as you already have it. Take time every day when you wake up in the morning to visualize and see yourself possessing that situation, whatever it may be. Before you go to bed, take time to meditate and ask God to reveal it to you. Empty your mind. Don't be concerned that, Carl, I don't know how to meditate. It's okay. Find a quiet place. And meditation is like exercise and weightlifting and those things. It all takes practice. After a while, you find it becomes like nothing. It'll be very, very easy for you to get into a meditative state. But also make sure you write affirmations for yourself. You write the affirmations down, you put it on an index card, and you read it to yourself. You know how you can read it to yourself aloud, or you can read it silently, but read it with conviction. No one else needs to see your cards. No one else needs to see your goals. These things are between you and your God. But do not stop your journey here. I want you to continue your journey on the 30-day mental diet. And I want you to push forward because God has something great for you. But He needs you to start using your God-given talent of thought, constructive thought. Remember, no matter what happens or what situation happens from this point on, remember that first cause is mental. So if you are experiencing anything in life, remember to ask yourself, what am I thinking? I want to thank you again for following along in the 30-day mental diet. And if you like this program, please give us a thumbs up. And I would love to hear your comments. This is the last day. Just give me any small comment, a little applause at the end. I would love to hear from you. And when we put out more videos, if you are subscribed, you will receive a notification of new videos. Thank you again, and have a great day.